Shalom, shalom, it's Kapadia, aka Pops, out of GMS Chicago, with a brief sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I'm going to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, to the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, elder bishops out of Connecticut, the apostles that's here in the Indianapolis area. I send double honors because they do real well. For the brethren around the world, pushes truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, correctly breaking down the prophecies and the interaction with the people on the planet, declaring warning. I send salutations. For the hopefully elect, I hope this is edifying. For the Akwat, the few, and the true, that's listening in sincerity. I hope. I also, like I said, I hope this is edifying for the two-thirds Israelites, the 17 other nations who are in the midst of Jacob's trouble. It is going to get a whole lot worse. Okay. Did a sit down here. We're speaking on Alphabet Lifestyle male that's a trainer in the NFL, and how basically I guess he wanted to come out the closet per se. That's what the script. That's what it says. So anyway, but I wound up getting a question in the comment board. Okay, what happens to a person after destruction in the spirit realm who choose abomination and blasphemy? Shalom. Does it really matter? Does it really matter? Absolutely. Does it really matter? It absolutely does. Let's do a couple things real quick. I'm gonna pull up some scriptures and whatnot and show you something first. Okay, first of all, the Lord says that He's going to destroy this wicked man's kingdom being here in America by laying it to waste. Okay, it says it's gonna take an hour to do it. So let's pull up those scriptures first. Let's see. Let me get you to understand a couple things first. 200,000. Let's look at that scripture up and let it come up. Okay, go to Revelations. Oops, overshot it. Okay, so now when we go here, let's pull this up and let's put some color on it so you can see exactly what scripture I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna read these two here. Okay, so this is Revelation 9. I'm going to read 15 and 16. It says, and the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, to slay the third part of men. This is actually speaking of nuclear weapons. Okay? And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. So this is basically talking about nuclear missiles here. Okay? Glittering arrows going from one end of the earth to the other. Those are talking about ICBM missiles. So when you read the scriptures and it speaks on that, let me see. Glittering arrows. I'm going to pull up glittering arrows for you. Glittering arrow. Come on. Just hit glittering. Let's see what comes up. Okay. Trying to figure out which one I want. This is Job 20:25. Uh, Man, okay, this is a good read. I'm gonna start this Job 20 at about 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. This is talking about Esau Edom, so-called white man. Okay, like I said, he took houses, he took families, he did all these things. Okay, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not say of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in a strait. That means a hard place. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Okay? When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So when this man thinks that this whole MOTB, Mark of the Beast, Charagma, the C hip, all these things that is labeled to crash the dollar and make people have to take something in their body, okay, to be able to buy and sell and be part of society. When he thinks that he's about got that squared away, the Lord said he's going to come upon him, okay? And while he's doing that, the man's going to realize what's going on, and he's going to flee. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Talking about nuclear weapons. It is dawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of its gall. Terrors are upon him. So, those people that live in those silo states here in America, and those that's going to be around them Russian intercontinental ballistic missiles and those things, anywhere there's intercontinental ballistic missiles set up and they gonna be fired from, the terrorists gonna be on those people as they see them leaving. Why? Because they know if something is leaving, something is inbound in the process. So they know destruction as they know it, the world as they know it is getting ready to change. Okay, the nuclear holocaust is upon them. Okay, all darkness shall be hid in the secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. Okay, so this the nuclear fire generates its own wind. Okay, and it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So, this is talking about nuclear weapons, like I said. So, does it really matter? Because, see, you worried about after the destruction, but getting to the destruction is where your terror should be at. Because of the fact that I don't think you have a good, clear understanding as the question is being asked, what that terror can be. Your worst nightmares and these types of things. Your worst premonition, your worst fear. Okay. Uh, let me show you what the Lord demon-like power. El Shaddai. Let's see. See if I can spell Shaddai right. If I can get it to come up. No. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so this is Exodus 3. And this is basically the story of Moses seeing the burning bush and going there and the Lord speaking to him. Okay, so, and Moses said to Yahweh, behold, when I come to the children of Israel and shall say unto them, the power of your fathers which sent me unto you, and they shall say unto me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And God, I'm going to read it verbatim so you can understand. And God said to Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. And God said, moreover, so let's say it this way. Moreover, let's say it this way, is what he's saying unto Moses. Thus shalt thou say to the children of Israel, Yahweh, power of Israel, your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Israel and say to them, Yahweh, power of your fathers, the power of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen what is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring ye up out of the affliction of the Egyptians and the land of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites into a land of flowing milk and honey. Okay? And they shall hearken to my voice, and thou shalt come, thou and the elders of Israel, unto the king of Egypt, and shall say unto them, Yahweh, power of Hebrews, hath met with us, and now let us go and beseech thee 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that ye may sacrifice unto Yahweh our power. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me just get back here and deal with this. Okay, so it's like I said, so I'm picking it up at 14 again. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I'm starting at 13. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come into the children of Israel and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say unto me, what is his name? What shall I tell them? Okay, so this is the announcement of what the Lord wanted his people, the Israelites, to know his name to be. Okay, because I mean, few people knew his name. Why? Because of the fact that, like I said, remember now, the earth had been flooded, people had been killed, all these other things. You know, the Lord had went through Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob to even set up the Israelite people at that time. Remember, Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, had went down into Egypt to escape the famine and these things and the other. That Joseph had been precursor to go down and become second in command in Egypt for that purpose. Okay, so the people didn't know the Lord. The Israelites absolutely didn't know the Lord as far as by his name. He chose them, but they hadn't chosen him. But the people on the planet knew the Lord as El Shaddai, okay, which was demon-like power, a terrible demon-like power, which is what El Shaddai means, okay? Because you think about it, why wouldn't they think that the God that runs everything is a terrible God if he thought so little of everybody that he took 8 people and a bunch of animals and put them on an ark and flooded the entire earth. Okay, in Christians' mind, what kind of God would do that? He's supposed to be all love, love, love. Or so they tell it. So that's what I'm saying. So let's deal with that. So we still dealing with what does it matter you got to first think about the fact of what power you're dealing with here. Okay, so he created the smith that bloweth the coal. Let's go get that in let me see. He created the smith that bloweth the coals. Let me see. Jeremiah 50. No, it ain't Jeremiah. It's not Jeremiah, it's Isaiah 54 to 16. Yeah, Jeremiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy. So this is talking about the modern day. Back then, a blacksmith was a modern day metal worker. Okay, well, the modern day metal worker now was the scientists and engineers that the Lord gave the left hand side understanding of how to open up the atoms to make hydrogen, then atomic, and now nuclear bombs. Okay. So he gave those men that technology so that they could make these weapons for their destruction. Okay? So now, this is the ultimate destruction that I'm talking about. Okay, but there's destructions that can occur before that. But here's the funny thing. If you're slated to stand in that fire, just because you die, you can go back to the spirit world where you'll find peace. Because when you can go and check that when Saul conjured up the witch of Endor. You know what? I'll get it. I'll get it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so like I was saying, uh, that witch of Endor, which is First Samuel 28, pick it up about 7 or so. And Saul said to his servant, seek me a woman which hath a familiar spirit, okay, that I may go to her and inquire her. And his servant said to her, behold, there's a woman which has a familiar spirit in Endor. Okay. And when you read through this story, Saul finds out that he's gonna wind up being with Samuel. Samuel being a righteous man. And I just went here so you can see where it's at. Okay, so I'm going to read verse 15. And Samuel said to Saul, why hast thou disquieted me? Meaning, why have you pulled me back into this realm of reality when I was in the spirit world relaxing? Okay? Okay. Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and Yahweh has departed from me and answered me no more. neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do. Then said Samuel, wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing Yahweh is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And Yahweh have done unto him as he spake by me, and Yahweh hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to the neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyedest not the voice of Yahweh, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Okay, so because Saul wouldn't kill Edomites the way he was instructed, the Lord took the kingdom from Saul. All Saul had to do was kill the Edomites that he was instructed to do so, and he would have had the kingdom, but he didn't do it. So our people want to walk around here talking about the Lord doesn't hate anybody. He had his people kill off people at different times per his instructions. And since he controls life and death anyway, you do what the Lord tells you to do. But he didn't do it, and he lost the kingdom for it. Okay. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. Yahweh also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hands of the Philistines. So, but Samuel was a good man. Samuel was a prophet. Samuel did everything that the Lord told him. So would he be in pain and torment after death? No, he'd be relaxing in the spirit realm. And Samuel said that Saul and his son would be with him. So they would be relaxing. So that's the straight answer for your question. But you're not dealing with the person that asked this question is not dealing with the idea of what it's going to take to get to that point. Because like I said, you can go back, you can actually get killed here on this side or horrible death and go back to the Lord for your judgment. And the Lord can tell you that you have to come back down here and stand in a fire. All the missiles, 200,000 thousands being dropped, okay, on certain parts of the planet, the bulk of it being here in America, but it's going to rocket to and fro, and this, that, and the other. So now, let's deal with the time frame, because you think, okay, I'm going to stand a nuclear missile, that ain't going to last long, this, that, and other. No, you're dealing with the Father, which controls time, distance, and relativity. What that means is this: he can sit you between realms and these types of things as he see fit, and he can make something that the world will perceive as a small amount of time feel like an eternity. And I'll say I prove that this way with what he says as when he told in Genesis what was going to happen. Let's go to Genesis 3:1. Now we're going to read this Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made. And he said to the woman, ye have power, said, ye shall not eat any tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said to the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God knoweth that in the day ye eat of them, your eyes shall be opened, ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. In the day. So so I just picked it up there, but the Lord gave them instructions. In that day that you partake of this, you shall die. That's what he says. But now, Adam lived to be 939 years old. So then let's deal with what that day is. 1,000 years as a day. Psalms 90:4. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. That's one, right? Second Peter 3:8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with Yahweh as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. A day. So now let's go do some basic math. Because he's okay. Now let's deal with this one more thing. One more thing. Destroy in 1 hour. Let's see. Let's get it understood what he's saying. Okay, 14 verses. (18:10), standing afar off, and the kings of the earth, I'm starting 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her. They're talking about the governments that live deliciously with Babylon, virgin daughter Babylon, which is America, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, when the missiles drop on her. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So the Lord's going to be able to do it in 1 hour, okay? 19, okay? And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city where made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Okay? So destruction is coming to America. And it's only going to take the Lord an hour. So if it's only going to take him an hour for the missiles to rocket to and fro, let's now look at the time frame that they can actually be dealing with and talking about. You see an hour and you think that. Let's deal with this. An hour's got 24 hours. A day has got 24 hours in a day, right? Like I said, go into Genesis and read how long Adam lived. He lived 939 days. 939 years. But he was told that he would die. But that when he did that, when they ate of that fruit or partook of that knowledge of good and evil, that surely that they in that day they shall die. So he lived to be 939 years. So he didn't make it the full day. 939 years. So now let's look at that. So if it's 24 hours in a day, but 1,000 years is as a day to the Lord, you take 1,000 and divide it by 24, and that leaves you with 41.6666, basically 42 hours is what a day is going to feel like. It's not what an hour is going to feel like. 41, an hour is going to feel like 41 years. That's what I meant to say. An hour to the Lord, then if a day is 1,000 years to him, then that means an hour is like 41 years to him in our time. 41 years in our time. Can you imagine standing in a flame with your full senses being tormented And can you imagine being burned for 41 hours? No, 41 years. I keep saying hours. 41 years. Can you imagine being burned for 41 years? Hours as a day as a hour. 1,000 years is as a day, and a day is as 1,000 years to the Lord. But we just looked at it and saw that 1,000 years divided by 24 hours, which is what a day consists of, can wind up being 41 years. So he can make that feel like you're burning in that flame for 41 years. Time and relativity plays no part in what Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can do. Period. So, back to the question. I answered it directly, and then gave you the what it can be. What happens to a person after destruction? You better worry about the destruction. That's what you better worry about. In the spirit realm, who choose abomination and blasphemy. So having chose abomination and blasphemy, you can catch all kinds of hells just getting until your judgment of death. But your death don't mean that that can be it. That means you can then come back and have to stand in the fire and be sent back. And the Lord has done that. The Lord, when Yahushua died, prophets raised up out their graves to prophesy on the earth again. So he can put your ass down and pull your ass back up to stand on that fire, stand in that fire and deal. So, does it really matter? 2346? Yeah, it does matter. You don't have the right fear to try to see if you can kind of skedaddle around the fact of the destruction that you'll have to go through just to get to that place of peace. The only then to be told that you can wind up having to come back down here and stand in a fire that can feel like you're standing in it for 41 years with all the anguish and gnashing of teeth that the scripture says is going to be in the process of. Hope that's enlightening and edifying to the elect. Don't fall away and figure that you can figure it out right there, right before it happens, and get your ass back in. First of all, the electors shouldn't be even thinking that way. If you don't put some time in and been in this, and the truth has been on you, just deal. Just keep dealing. He already told you if you hold on that he'll be there when a time of trouble shows up during Jacob's trouble. So don't play this motherfucking game, because this is fucking idiocy. But you said Shalom, so I hope I answered the question. So again, I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakodash, to the apostles and elders of GMS again, out of New York, down here in Indiana, elder bishops out there in Connecticut, saying double honors because they do rule well. All the brethren around the world pushing this truth uncut, unfiltered, giving you good, bad, and ugly, declaring war on the planet. Salutations. Keep doing the work. The elections, for all of the election's sake, stay in this truth and let the Lord show you his mighty works. And that what he says is going to be real. He says the elect shall be scarce, the righteous shall be scarcely saved. So if the righteous going to be scarcely saved, what you think going to happen to these people that want to cut around the edges and be on bullshit? Destruction is going to be horrible and terrible. So for the first group of Hardy Shalom and the second group of Baba Ball.